a lot of efforts, a lot of hard work has gone behind this curating and executing this entire event. So when we talk about events, we think a lot about what's the enjoyment part of it, what's the outcome of it. Less about the outcome though. We think about or we explore about what's happening during the event. So it's a lot behind the scenes that is going around. So and what is the actual outcome of an event? So we cannot just have an event for the sake of it. So we need to have certain specific outcome that we can tangibly see when we execute an event. So for that, I would request, Madhurita, Dr. Madhurita Gupta, founder of GAN, Goa Angel Network. A round of applause, please. And she just, I will just request you to just share a few experiences about GAN, why GAN.
A very good morning to all of you, first of all. And this Avinya, it was planned many months back. And the main objective of the Avinya as well as Goa Angel Network is to upscale the women of Goa as well as to handhold them to start the business. You all know how to do the business. I'm not here to teach you the business, but help you to scale up the businesses, existing businesses, and that is the whole reason to call the investors from different domains, from diverse backgrounds to help you and support in a big way. Because when we talk about the women in India, they constitute only 2% in the investment circle, 11% in the entire startup ecosystem. So that's a very minimal average thing which we hold in this male-dominated society. And I know, because I myself have gone through that entrepreneurship and I know the pain points. So it's very much required that we support the women-led businesses in a big way. And it is possible only when the ecosystem support is there and the people are there. So this whole event is for all the women of Goa who can leverage and take the takeaways from the experts. There are domain experts, there are mentors from all over the world. So please leverage and help each other in the businesses in a big way. So it's all about upgrading, upskilling and upscaling. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhurita. With that, I would like to request Madhurita to please felicitate our guests with a token of appreciation. Please.
Photograph.
Mahaviji, please. Shweta, please. Thank you, Madhurita. Thank you, all of you. So, talking about moving ahead with the sessions, with the inauguration session, we have with us Abhishek Gupta. He is an investor with GAN. And what more about him or what is he into, we'll explore that in our sessions ahead. So I would request Mr. Abhishek to please share a few words with us. You can do it from there.
Hello. Thank you everyone for coming today, and we are honored to have you here as a guest. And for me, to be a part of this journey and investment journey here in India, it's pretty new to me. It started 2 years back. I'm into software, developing software and the last mile delivery software. I have a software development firm here in Goa. One of the biggest, I'll say, employing over 150 160 people here, and my e-commerce operations are based out of US. 600 people in California with retail. Here I'm mostly investing in women-based organizations, and especially with the veterinary sector, handicrafts, sustainable products, sustainable industries, and software industries also. Something in terms of kids education, and not only in terms of schooling, but as we know, after COVID, almost 40% of the kids, they are suffering through a lot of problems, and they are especially able children need a lot of help all around India, and Goa is still struggling in terms of getting right therapy centers. So these are where my focuses are. And also in terms of every business, be it retail or any kind, needs digital transformation. And I think everyone should adopt digital transformation to make themselves global. And that is where everyone would actually succeed. I think that is my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek. With that, I would request Ms. Shwetika ji to please share her few cents.
Very good morning. Firstly, apologies for being late, and secondly, I feel extremely ill prepared for this particular session, owing to my additional responsibilities which keep coming. But let me congratulate the Goa Intel Network and also DCCI for doing this much needed event today. I'm being told that this is an event focusing the startups and how they can scale up, how they can get investors to invest in their ventures, how they can learn from other well-performing startups. Like there are 2 experts here sitting beside me, and I think over the course of this particular workshop, there'll be much more to learn when you listen to speakers today. From the point of view of industries, I think everybody's aware that the government of Goa, through the Department of IT, is implementing one startup scheme, which is specifically for the IT startups. So they do provide some kind of seed capital and funding, and however, we also see that there is no sector agnostic scheme for startups, which is the much need of the hour. I am also aware that we do not have a singular kind of an association, a lobby that would make all this happen. So in my one of the other, I think Young Indian CI, Young Indian event, I tried to pursue some of the people to come together and form a startup association, so that they could be the thrust to a more inclusive startup policy, even an incentive package or a fund of funds the government could kind of monitor. Government is, I don't think, very capable to understand where the investment should go. So we should be a part of since I've joined, I've been recommending that we should have a kind of a more professional fund, where the government could have certain investments, could pledge some investments, and they should be able to promote newer startups, and it will not be kind of a grantee-made or dead investment. The government would continue to own equity in those ventures that you finance. So that being said, from the industries department, we still do have some schemes that support MSMEs primarily. The one being the incentive schemes that we have. Now also at this time, there's so many new startups that have started operation post-COVID, and during that particular phase also in probably technology and any other kind of digital service. But sadly, that kind of response has not been received in the incentive schemes. Any kind of services is not included for the incentive schemes. However, any manufacturing, any sustainable food processing, any other manufacturing qualifies for the incentives, and there's a decent ceiling depending on the kind of investments you are doing. Micro or small, medium, all enterprises are eligible. Even large investments are eligible for employment subsidy, etc. In addition to that, we also are implementing the formalization of food processing industries, where we are supporting the micro sector. So up to 1 crore, wherever the investments are up to around 1 crore, specifically the food processing sector. So those entrepreneurs can also approach us, and we do provide very lucrative loans, also capacity building, other marketing, etc. We handhold the. Apart from that, also there are a lot of other support schemes going to the ODOPs. Then also recently we've come out with the cashew employment subsidy scheme for cashew processors. So this is broadly, in a nutshell, the support the industries that directly do not be employed to saying startups, but since the definition of startups could range between anything, the criteria is such that a lot of them are in the MSME sector. So I would encourage any new business in manufacturing or near the food processing sector to approach the office too. And trust me, it is not a very you could say that it's not a very cumbersome process, and it's fairly seamless. So again, congratulations to the Goa Angel Network, and I'm all my best wishes for the successful campaign. Thank you.
Thank you for your address. So I indeed believe that the government funding or government support can actually bridge a lot of investor psychology. The potential investors, the new investors in the market, if these startups are actually funded by the government, they have a quality check, or you can say a validation of a level, which gives a edge for the startups as well as for the investors to go ahead for the further investments. That is one thing said. And the other part is, of course, there are other state governments with whom I have been working. They have different startup schemes, prototype development schemes, then again seed grants. So of course that helps, and the process is not at all cumbersome. There are bodies like GAN and other incubation centers too. I'm sure there would be something more to it. So you can get to them, and they will actually take you through the KYC of how to go ahead with it. So of course, and the information that you shared, it would be really helpful for a lot out here. So you should reach out to them and leverage the best out of it. With that, I would request our guest of honor, Avinya Sharma ji, to share his experiences and what does he think about the entire startup ecosystem now.
Thank you. It's a difficult position to be in when you're a guest being hosted by a state to tear apart the ecosystem or kind of challenge it in a way. If you look at positively, it's not an easy thing to do. Having been an angel investor over 10 years now, read and understood and followed startup policy from Kerala to Karnataka to Telangana and Andhra, Gujarat, Delhi, and formulated Rajasthan startup policy. I feel the startup policy map here is totally lacking the teeth. It lacks. It is so cumbersome and it lacks execution and vision, and it needs to be redone, and maybe under the industries department and not under the IT department. Because I personally feel that while employment is very important, and I understand that. I understand local people need to be employed more than people who come from outside. But as a startup, as an entrepreneur, as an investor, we don't hire people because I'll get 15,000 rupees per employee per month subsidy. I hire a person and pay him or her twice as much if she can deliver what I want. Or if the tech is better, if her experience is better. So it's not about subsidy at all. I think it's two things that startups need money on, and that's what the startup policies across India should have. One is, of course, the proof of concept, the idea stage, to get the prototype done, because we don't invest at that stage. They need grants of 5, 10, 15 lakhs depending on the sector, whether it's biotech, whether it's agri-tech, whether it's drones, whether it's IoT devices, whatever they're doing. The company has to be registered in Goa. I can't be registered in Bangalore and taking money from you. So once I have my GST and my PAN card and everything is registered here, I should get a grant to do a proof of concept. And then I don't need any money. Then you need to co-invest with accredited angel investors. Now whether that angel investor is coming from Bombay and investing in a Goa company, or from Delhi, or a Goa angel investing in Goa. That co-investment on similar terms is what you need, and you will get ROIs much better than anyone else has. Those are the two simple things. Employees, local people will get jobs. Initially I will bring team from outside. I will bring a tech team from wherever I want to bring. But eventually when my team of 20, 30, 40, 400 people stays in Goa, they go out and eat, they rent apartments, they live, they buy cars. The government gets so much of money from the direct and indirect taxes. That money can go in skill upgradation, that money can go in, regenerating employment for local people, upgrading the skills. It is a bad idea and then file cumbersome things to give this person is employed 10 people, give me to. It's a very complicated project. I think it's not needed in my opinion. So that's my suggestion. The startup policy needs to totally change. The other reason is, obviously, the startup policy of Goa exists. We in India don't even know it exists. I had to come there yesterday, look for it, read through it. I could not open the portal. So thank you for sending me the PDFs which I could read through. So if the portal is not, if the IT policies portal is not opening, there's definitely something wrong with the IT department, and that's how bad it is, and that is how bad it was last night. And so the PDF I read through, local employment will happen. I think there's nothing wrong with it. All we need is, and you don't need to invest in incubation centers and accelerator, and the colleges, AIC, NITI, they have so much money. The state governments don't need to invest in that, and private sector, co-working spaces, incubation center, all of them. Goa is the best positioned place away from tourist spots that you can create IT infrastructure. Companies get headquartered here. The business model of Delaware, where every headquarter is there and you get all the income tax benefits for the company's headquarters, all that you need. You don't need to have 10,000 people and Googles of the world coming and setting up units and ruining the environment here. Goa is positioned to be a haven where the companies can be headquartered, core teams sitting here, and you benefiting from the thing. It's very simple, it's not a complicated thing, and I think Goa is most well positioned, and PPP model with private sector, colleges, universities, investing in incubation, acceleration, skill upgradation. Government does not just infrastructure, roads, approvals that are needed, obviously, from environment is all that you need, and fund of funds. In my personal opinion, and I was telling someone, if I had to choose between Bangalore and Goa, I would come to Goa. If I had to choose between any other 10 top cities, I would come to Goa and set up and invest across India and set up my fund. It's just that we need to have the right environment, the right infrastructure, and the right policy, long-term policy. This policy I was reading, ironically, 2025, you want to be the top 25 startup ecosystems of Asia. Trust me, we're far away from being India. There are 80,000 startups registered with less than 1,000 here. Something is definitely not right. And I hope that this thing gets across to the policymakers and startups are huge. The Honorable Prime Minister and the entire focus since 2015 has been on startups. Service sector exports, IT technology exports. These are very, very important. We're not trying to take that away, but we need to focus on the service and IT and tech services. So that's my suggestion. I would be happy to look at startups and invest in Goa to make a beginning. But again, Abhishek of Goa, you need to co-invest with me because you need to line manage it. We can't sit in Jaipur or anywhere else and come and micromanage the startup. So mentoring at early stage is very critical. So to the private sector and the investors in my session later on, you really need to co-invest with outside investors because outsiders can only invest if the local ecosystem invests. And so the private sector needs to be very, very proactive. And that's where your role is very, very critical to get the right angels. And as far as organizations are concerned, and TIE is totally, it's a global organization. We don't have a Goa chapter. I've led it globally. We can create a chapter here. All we need is the right 10, 15 right angel investors. And we have from schools, colleges, women entrepreneurship, and angel programs across the board, which handhold and Rani here is from Ahmedabad, and we can actually execute and take and it is not competing with CIIs and Dickies of the world. this is the only sector where there's no competition between organizations or investors. So it's basically creating a platform where we can all collaborate. So between the government and the private sector, I think Goa has a great potential. I see it. I've been coming here for the last 2-3 years since GIM hosted us for the horses stable shoot 2 years ago now. And then after that, and many summits have happened here. And I personally feel that we are underutilizing our resources. With that, I wish everyone the very best. Thank you for having me here. Sorry if I was a little straight or I can't help but not be happy about the ecosystem here. Wishing you all the very best. And I'm there to do whatever I can for the ecosystem and to look at the policy also if required. Thank you.